Hello my friends, we're back. I hope you're ready for some more gaming adventures. Picked a bigger game this week. It isn't quite as fast and fun as Handful of Hazards, but it's a sweet little game and I think you might like it. But first, let's review what is being released today from all of my lovely friends who are participating in this print and play adventure. Let's see, so we have a bit of a horror theme going on this week. Dmitry picked Terror by the Lake, 5 teenagers, 1 weekend at the lake. What could ever go wrong? Well, Dmitry is the serial killer who is trying to knock them off one by one. He is followed by Matt, who picked Go Alone. Sounds ominous? Yes, it is a dark fantasy cave crawl. So, yeah, we definitely have a different feel this week from last week. Aishwarya, she went into space. She is a monarch of a galactic empire trying to expand and control her current country. It looks very cool. Also a bigger game. And Veselko, oh, he finally gets to play his Conquest Fall Blau, which he has been watching since this started, and it's finally ready to be play tested. It is a World War II war game. It is the summer of 1942, and you are in charge of the German offensive. Yes, he is super excited. I can't wait to see if this game lives up to his expectations. A little bit bigger, heavier games this week, but that's kind of what's cool about this print and play contest. We have a bunch of games that are what I think of as kind of portable solo games. A lot of these games that you play just in your hand or with a little piece of paper and some dice and a pencil, something you could fit in like an Altoid tin, right? There's kind of that side of the contest, and then there's the other side of the contest. And these are these games, which are much more kind of what you would think of like a game that comes in a box, right? These are the games maybe that you would sit down and play for longer than 5 or 10 minutes. They're a little more invested, and usually the components / setups of them are a little more intensive. So I don't think they get quite as much press as the little quick and fun games. So we decided to try and remedy that this week. So a lot of the games you'll see this week, I think, are sort of larger, meatier games, because that's also in this contest, right? They aren't just little all quickie little print and play games. There are some larger versions. Now this one that I'm doing, it's tentatively called The Lands Beyond, and it's a very sweet adventuring game. And what I liked about this game is that it isn't all kill it, treasure, all right? This is a game where you have choices in how you approach your encounter. You absolutely can swing a sword at it, or you can try and be compassionate, maybe talk your way through it, maybe sneak by, right? So it's I think it's a more adult adventuring game, which I appreciate. Tentatively, it's called The Lands Beyond. It's by Brian Garthwaite. I will link below if you want to go check out his thread right now, and it's definitely in development. It's totally ready to play. The only version he has right now is the low ink, black and white, no artwork version. That's fine, but I wanted to make it pretty for you guys because I don't want you staring at just plain white for this whole thing. So I went in with just a little bit of color pencil and added just a touch of color to some cards so they aren't quite as plain, because I want to show this game off in all of its glory, and I tried to, you know, back things with color so there's a little pop of something going on. The game itself, printing it out, like I said, it's low ink, so it prints beautifully, wonderfully. The only construction involves cutting out rectangles, you're cutting out card shapes. Super easy. You don't have to put the backs on cards, you can just print the front side if you want, but I'm doing the full spread here. And the idea behind this is that you're leaving your little neck of the woods, kind of get like a Hobbit vibe to it, like you've been in this little happy little land and you've decided to go adventuring and see what's over the hill, what's in the land beyond. Not because there's a dark plague or you're being called, but just for the fun of exploration, which I think is really cool. And there's a couple places you go in this game. The first place is the Borderlands. These are kind of easier little adventures where you're going to power up your character and get a little stronger. And after you get out of the Borderlands, oops, where are they? Here they are. You go into the far reaches. A little more deadly, but a little more reward as well. And you also have, while you're wandering about, nighttime adventures, and these are the toughest of them all. You can skip some of them, but you will definitely have to deal with them. The point of the game is to try to get through all of your adventure cards. So you have to get through the Borderlands, through the far reaches, scoring renown as you go, and at the end of your journey, we'll have a little tableau established of everywhere we've been and all the adventures we've had that we can kind of sit in front of a fireplace and sip some tea and remember, when I was young, all the crazy things that I did. It's kind of the feel I get from this game. So you have your character sheet, and your character has two parts to it. You have your character itself and then your background. And the game comes with a bunch of little characters. The stats are the same. One is a female name, one is a male name. So I just sort of took a mix of them both. And you have on the edge of them their renown stats. So this is how quickly they build renown. And you'll notice that all the characters have a different spread of how quickly they build. They all have a ×2 multiplier somewhere. Some of them have 2 2s and then 2 0s, right? So we'll pick one of these randomly, and this will tell us how quickly our name spreads. So let's go with, how about Jari? That sounds good to me. So that's our character. But what is Jari aside from an adventurer? Well, you have a couple of little background skills. What would you call these? Archetypes maybe would be the best word. Is she a protector, a hunter, an artist, a magician, an acolyte, or an athlete? And on these cards, you'll see the actual skills that you excel in. So let's just give these a quick shuffle and figure out what Jari is. You could obviously like pick the ones you want, but we're gonna make Jari a hunter. And when you put these two cards together, which is really kind of cool, you'll see how they line up. So Jari is going to gain renown through her strength is her first ability. Ooh, this interesting as a hunter, that her second one is this book skill. Interesting. She gets some bonuses that we'll put onto our character. And this will be our sort of starting stats, if you were. And I think what I'm going to do to make life easier is I'm going to mount this onto a piece of paper so it's not so wiggly, and give ourselves a little bit of artwork here just so Jari has a face, because I feel like she needs it. Now, Jari doesn't go on her adventure alone. In fact, she's going to take with her 3 companions. And these companions give you just a little boost right when you need it. You use them once and you discard them. I like to think that, you know, they go home after they've been with you a little bit. So we'll go ahead and randomly pick 3 of these guys, and then we'll put a little artwork on them as well. Let's say Jari is going to be walking around with Sanjay the Wise, fabulous, and Elaine the Nimble. All right, that sounds good. And how about Yoko the Mighty? Ooh, those sound like good companions. So her abilities are, she's going to get some help with strength or fighting. She's going to get help with her agility or running or fleeing. And she's going to get help with some sort of compassion healing type of abilities, which is going to be nice. So we'll add these to our companions down here. Oh, right, so I added a little artwork to our characters, so they'll be a little more interesting since we're going to be sitting and playing for a bit. Here, this is Miss Jari the Huntress. And these little images, I'll put a link below. They're from a really cool site called 2 Minute Tabletop. The artist is Ross McConnell, and he makes these adorable little assets for Dungeons and Dragons games, just to, you know, put around a map and make them look really cute. They're donate what you can type of a thing. They're awesome. So this is Jari, and she is a hunter, and now you can see how her abilities line up. So every time that we solve an encounter using this strength bonus, we're going to get 2 times the renown. If we, interestingly enough, if we try and use any sort of like compassion, we're not going to get any renown. So we have a definite way that we want to play our character to maximize the amount of renown we're going to get. She has 2 bonus skills, and we'll fill this out in just a minute. But that's Miss Jari, our huntress. And of course we now have Elaine, the nimble, she looks like some sort of little wizardy elf, Sanjay, the wise, and Yoko, the mighty, who are also journeying with us on our little adventure. So next up, let's set up our little starting stats. We'll get the little decks ready, and then we will head out into the land beyond. So we start off with some adventuring skills, and there are a total of 4 of them. The first is our strength. This helps us fight our battles. The second is agility. Pick a lock, scale a cliff, that kind of stuff. Next we have knowledge, all right? And this is how to solve a riddle, cast a spell. And then finally we have empathy. Oops, I think I reversed those, sorry. This one is obviously is your empathy, and this one is your knowledge. Empathy is tend to an injured person, sweet talk someone, make a friend, all right? And so that's the 4 ways that we can approach these encounters. We can fight it, we can try and maybe agility it, get around it, run, sneak through it. We can have some empathy for the person, or we can use our knowledge. And there are these little sort of white dots that sort of show your starting positions. But every skill has 2 rows to it. The first row shows how many dice you're going to roll when you face that encounter. So at the start of the game, if we try to face something using strength, we will be able to roll 1 single dice. So I'm sorry, 2 dice. So I'm going to put 1 pip here to show that we're going to be rolling 2 dice. Now the top part of the row is what's called your refresh rate. We're going to go ahead and stick 1 here as well. And what this tells you is you have only so much strength to you, okay? As the day progresses, your strength is going to go down. You'll be able to refresh it by, sleeping or recovering one way or another. But as the day progresses, you're going to get weaker. So at the start of the game, the maximum dice that we're going to be able to roll for any strength encounter is 2, all right? How much we roll for that encounter? Well, that we look up here at this sort of daylight symbol, which tells us where we are in the day. It's the start of the day, we're going to be rolling 2 dice. After we do that though, we've used up some of our strength and our rate will fall, and our next encounter will only be able to roll 2 dice. We still have a maximum of 2, only 1 is available, and after that, our strength is worn out, and if we come into an encounter, we will not be able to roll strength to resolve it. All right, so these are the starting positions, and I think what I'll do is just, everyone starts equally here at a maximum of 2 dice, and you have basically 2 uses, all right? Now, we're gonna wiggle this just a little bit because remember, we are the Huntress, and we have 2 bonus skills, which means our base maximum strength, we're gonna tick up by 1. So we're gonna start rolling 3 dice. And we have some knowledge running around in the forest, so we're going to tick up as well our maximum number of dice if we confront an encounter using knowledge, okay? We also have our health. If we ever run out of that, the game ends. And we also have, which is really cool, this idea of luck, and luck lets us re-roll things in case something goes horribly wrong, which they just might. We start the game with 1 coin, and we'll find more treasure. We can spend it later on. And our renown right now is a sad little 0. Nobody has heard of us. That's okay. We're going to change that. So can see how our little followers will help us as well. So we can increase an attempt by 1, so he'll be able to help us, right, when we're rolling. Right now we're rolling 3 dice. If Yoko helps us, we'll be rolling 4. Same with Sanjay and Elaine, so they can help us on some of our little adventures. As the day goes along, our little refresh rate, our little sun token is going to dip down, and our ability to roll dice, we're going to get weaker and weaker and weaker until we must rest, refresh some of our dice pools, and start again. As jari, which works out very well for us, we're going to get the most renown if we fight things and we use our knowledge, all right? Those are the two, when we come up to an encounter, we would like to do, which is wonderful because those also happen to be, that's right, our starting bonuses. So we plucked well on this game. Now the next step is going to be setting up our adventure deck. And for this, we're just going to give a little shuffle here to the adventure cards. And we're going to take 10 from the borderlands. These are the easiest ones. We're going to take 10 from the far reaches. And we're going to stack them on top of each other. So 1, 2, 9, 10. And there are our far reaches. So we're going to put the borderlands on top. Get through those first. And these will be our daytime adventures. And the name of the game, of course, is to get through all of these without dying. And of course, become as well known as possible. And the Dark Night is the same. We're only going to put these there and give them a little shuffle. Oh, sorry, right, first, forgot. Just 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hopefully, we will survive all of those dark nights. Okay, and now we're ready, I think, to head out and start our first day. To do that, it's simple enough. We simply draw 2 cards from the top of the deck, and we're allowed to resolve them in any order we wish. And we find, heading out of our little town, 2 things in front of us. The first, there's a rickety canyon bridge we need to cross, and we see some skeletal warriors are in pursuit of us. So we have a choice. We can either run over the bridge first and then face the warriors, or we can face the warriors and then head over the bridge. And what you'll notice is that each of these cards has 2 different ways to resolve it. So for our rickety canyon, we can either tiptoe across using our agility, or we can say, forget the bridge, let's just swim the river and use our strength, swim the rushing river. We have a third option, of course, which is simply to flee. And this means we do none of the above, we find another route. But we have to exhaust one of our skills and we get no reward, okay? For the skeletal warrior, makes sense. We can either stand and fight with courage, or we can conceal our trail using, of course, our knowledge, our huntsman's lore. We can instead make it too hard for these skeletons to follow us. Couple of other things about the icons. On the other end, you'll see what your reward is. In this case, if we cross the bridge, we will increase our agility score and refresh it a tick and get some money. Down here with the warriors, you'll notice though that our knowledge token is shaded in. This means if we succeeded, our knowledge dice total will go up 1. So the max we can roll is 4, but we won't be able to also refresh it 1. All we'll be able to do is increase our dice total. So this is a little bit of a lesser reward. The last thing you'll notice right here, I highlighted it, is the letter D. There are some linked encounters in this deck. So if we stand and fight this skeleton now, if we come across the companion card that has a D, we will automatically win this skill check. Because it'll probably be something like fight the skeleton later, but we've already killed them, so we won't have to do that, all right? So if we pick a linked card, there's a chance that when I sorted the deck and put those 10 cards in, there's a chance that in those 10 cards is the pair of this linked adventure. On the flip side, there's also a chance that paired card is not in here, so we could stand and fight the skeleton and don't get a reward later on. You never know if you're going to come back across Mr. Skeleton. So we get our most renown, of course, for using our strength. So let's try and head out across this river first. We're going to try we're going to try and deal with the bridge. We're not going to try and tiptoe across it. We're just going to jump in the water and go for it. So if we look up here for our strength, what you'll see, my little cubie's moved, is that we are rolling a maximum number of 3 dice, which is great. How many of them are available? Well, we are fresh in our adventure. We're going to be able to roll all 3. So we're going to roll 3 dice. We're going to take the 2 highest, sum them together, and we're going to be trying to beat an 8. Let's see if our strength holds for our first adventure. Yes, it does. We'll sum those and pull a 9. So because we tested our strength, we're going to tick down our refresh. We're a little bit tired after that, all right? But the good news is our reward is increase our maximum number of strength dice. So now we can have a max of 4. And because it is not filled in, we also are invigorated. We made it over the river. We're feeling invigorated. We're feeling good. We're a little bit stronger, okay? And we get to keep this and add this to our tableau. I'll stick it up here for now. Next up, all right, we're over the river. Now we have this little skeleton to deal with. We can stand and fight him. We will be rolling, remember now, 4 dice, summing the top 2, and we need to get a 10, which is hard. You know, that's not an easy roll. Or we can try and conceal our trail. And I think even though the reward's a little bit less, we probably have a better chance of that. But we would give in on this linked adventure. You know, it's early days. I don't want to risk anything, so I don't think we're quite ready to take on a skeleton warrior. Let's just try to conceal our trail. We have 3 dice, and we'll tick this down 1. We get to roll them all. We're looking for 5. Sounds doable. Famous last words. No worries at all. We manage to do it. So we hide ourselves in the forest, being the hunter we are, and we get to increase our lore knowledge by 1. Not our refresh rate. We're still tired from that. But we now get to add skeleton warriors to our tableau. And you can see what kind of happens here. By the end of the game, you have these wonderful little images showing where you've been and what you've done, which I think is really cool. So we've finished our daytime adventures. We've drawn and resolved 2 cards. And at this point, we have a choice. All right, let me pull down the nighttime deck. It's night. And we get to decide, do we want to sleep? Okay, in which case we get to refresh any 3 skills we like. Or do we want to go out and have a little more adventure at night? Big risk, big rewards for night adventures, all right? You get some major renown and some major benefits, but they're hard to do. We're early in our adventure. I don't think we want to do that. Instead, let's just sleep. And we're going to get to refresh 3 ticks on whatever tracks we want. So let's get those 2. So that's a refresh of 1. And then our lore, 1, 2, getting us back to full health. And we're ready to face the next day. So we wake up bright and early, we're still in the Borderlands, and we come across 2 more adventures. And this time we find, an abandoned tunnel collapse. We can investigate this. And we find a snarling beast in chains. Okay, so what are our options? 1 is to befriend the creature using our compassion of 10. We're only rolling 2 dice, so I feel like maybe we're not the most compassionate people. We can also dash past it. I think I like the sound of that a little bit better. And this abandoned tunnel is either clear it with our strength or squeeze through the openings with our agility. Well, since we know which one we're doing here is dash past, let's first try and get past the snarling beast. We're rolling our agility. We have 3 dice total, so we need to tick it down 1 because we're going to use that ability. And we need to make an 8 here. Done. Easy peasy. We get past its claws. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? I always forget to do this. I forget after you do one of these, you get Renown. Let me resolve this and then we'll go do Renown real fast. We dash past the claws. We get to up our agility by 1 max dice and up our refresh rate of 1. And I forgot, let me pull these out too. We've got to score a renown for doing this amazing stuff. All right, so remember, this is how we score renown. So let's look back really fast. When we went over the bridge, we used our strength. And our strength modifier is 2, so we get 2 ticks in renown for managing to ford the river. People are still talking about that. When we got past the warrior, we used our lore or knowledge. We only get 1 tick for that. That's not as impressive. But now we have also snuck by the snarling beast, which used our agility. Again, not as impressive. So we're up to a renown of 4. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let's see. Next up we have our abandoned tunnel. And how do we want to resolve this? So we could definitely break through it, right? We're going to be rolling a maximum of 4 dice. We only need an 8. That's totally doable. And same thing with our agility. Oh, I didn't. Did I tick that down? Ticked it back. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Do we want to do our I guess let's do strength. We have so much strength. Why not? We are not going to have a problem bashing through this door, I don't think. Yes, summing our top 2, we pull in 11, not a problem. So we have to tick 1 down because we took the action, but the reward is our max dice goes up, our refresh goes up, and I'm not going to forget this time, we get 2 reward points for that. 1, 2. Ooh, very well done. So the next day was also successful. Now it's nighttime. We don't have much to refresh here. Do we want to try a nighttime adventure? Why not? Let's go big. Go big or go home, right? So let's go ahead and pull a nighttime adventure and see what we get. Ooh, a shambling terror. Okay, so here's the thing about the nighttime adventures. There's only one way to deal with them. We're in luck. It happens to be strength. Strength is what we do, okay? We cannot flee, okay? That's kind of a bummer. So if, for instance, we had pulled something that required, oh, I don't know, compassion, we would be in a lot of trouble, but we're okay. We have a strength test of 8, and then we get a ton of wonderful rewards. So first things first, our strength test. We have a maximum of 5 dice. Our refresh rate, however, is only 4, so we only get to roll 4 of them. We're looking for an 8. Ooh. Ooh, we are 1 strong hunter. No problem, okay? So we're going to tick this down because we use the ability. And now we're going to see, what do we get for managing to fight off the shambling horror? Well, the first thing is blacked out, and it's these cute little stars. And that's a wild. And a wild can take the form of any action skill you want, but not resolve. We get to tick it up 1. So because it's darkened, right, we're not going to tick it both ways. So we get to pick one of these and boost it up 1. And I think we're going to go with our compassion because we're not the friendliest of hunters. So let's take that ability to tick up our compassion to a max of 3 dice when we refresh it. Now the second thing we get is this wonderful little clover, which is luck. Luck lets you reroll stuff. Luck is fabulous later in the game. I'm very glad we got that. And the final one we get is a little sun, which means we get to refresh 1 skill level up to your maximum. Let's see here. 1 level. So I guess we would probably want to do our strength because right now we're only rolling 3 dice. Although if we do our compassion, that might work better for us. Let's do our compassion, just because I would like to get that up there. And of course, we resolve this using our strength, so our renown goes up 2. Ooh, all right. Good job, Jari. Let's head into our next day. And we find ourselves faced with an enchanted fairy circle. Ooh, we can speak a sacred blessing or go by quietly. Oh, I would love to speak a sacred blessing. 4 dice. Maybe. And oh, and a trap red fox. We could pry open the trap. Yes. or share a morsel of food. Ooh, and it's a linked adventure. So I think what we're going to do for this one, let's try and solve this linked adventure. Let's try and pry open the steel trap. So, that means we're only going to be rolling 2 dice to do that. It's going to be a little risky, but let's try it. So we have max of 5 we could roll. At this moment, however, we are only rolling 2. Okay. Oh, come on, Jari. We did it. Woo, hallelujah. So we get the bonus. This goes to 3, this goes to 6. So we are maxed out on strength, which is wonderful. We also get 2, 1, 2. We're up to 10 renown now. We're doing very well. And we completed this LinkedIn adventure. So I'll put that over here to remember. Oh, another LinkedIn adventure. Speak a sacred blessing. Oh, we've got to do that, right? Yeah, look at us down here. We are ready to go. We have 4 dice available to roll, and we're totally fresh on our knowledge. We need 9. Yep. There it is. Great. So we tick it down 1 because we took the action, and now we get our reward, which is up 1, and another linked adventure goes into our back pocket. Okay, nighttime, and I think we definitely need to sleep. So no wandering around at night tonight. We get to refresh 3 skills. So let's refresh definitely 1, 2. I'm already rolling 4 dice here. Shoot. I think we'll do strength, because that's kind of where we're going, I feel like. Right? Yeah, that looks good. Okay. 2 daytime cards. We come across a strange mountain gate. We can force apart the doors, or we can decrypt the mystical ruins. Well, we're definitely forcing them, please. And a lost and lonely wanderer. Share a comforting tale, sketch a helpful map. So this one's more of a think. So let's deal with our strange mountain gates first, and let's force them apart. So we're going to tick down 1. Boom. We're going to roll a total of 5 dice. That's awesome. Nope. I'm sorry, 6. Oh, I'm 1 dice short. Here's another one. Okay. I didn't bring enough dice. Didn't think Jari would get so swole. All right. Easily done. We pry apart the doors, and we get to tick this up 1. We're at a max here, but we do get some treasure because we used our strength, 1, 2, and our renown. So that was a good one for us. Now, this lost and lonely warrior, we can share a comforting tale, which I kind of think we might want to do. It won't get us any renown though. If we give him a map, it'll give him renown, but we won't get to refresh. I think I'm still just gonna tell him a nice story. So we get 3 dice, tick this down, we're gonna give it a shot, and we're looking for an 8. Oh, so we failed it. We only made a 6. So at this moment, the first thing we can do, of course, is look to our buddies. Anyone here? Here we go. All right. Now, Sanjay, we go to talk to him, and we try to tell a comforting story, and it comes out terribly, terribly wrong. And the poor stranger is like, that wasn't comforting at all. In fact, I feel even worse. So Sanjay steps up, and he's going to say, oh, no. I know a story, and he's going to tell it. And he's going to increase 1 attempt by 1 extra dice. So let's roll this, Sanjay. And Sanjay does it. We now make exactly 7. Whoo! Sanjay comes in clutch. He is unfortunately sent home at this point. He's old, he's rickety. He's done his service to us. He wanders back home with tales of our adventure. We, however, managed to share a comforting tale. Woohoo! So both dice tick up. Boom, boom. Because we used that particular ability, though, we get no lore. No one really cares about it, which is kind of sad, but that's all right. It is what it is. Nighttime. And again, we don't have much to refresh, so let's have another nighttime adventure, shall we? What happens tonight? Tonight, Ooh, there's a gnomish illusion. Look how cute he is. And step into the unknown. Let's do it. Let's take on this illusion. Total of 7. We have 5 dice we can roll. Our refresh rate is only 4 though, so let's see. Looking for a 7. Oh yeah, baby, no problems. We completely dispel that illusion. Because we rolled though, we tick this down because we've used it. And our rewards, same as last time. So we can increase the number of dice, but they don't refresh. What's our lowest right now? Forget compassion. It doesn't get us anything. We're gonna up our agility. We get a tick of treasure, and we get to refresh 1 skill, and I think it has to be lore because it's so low down. Boom. We resolved this with, of course, our knowledge, which gives us 1 tick of renown. Ooh, we're doing good. All right, new day. Let's see how many more. Oh, these are our last adventures in the Borderlands. All right, let's take it. We come across a nice village blacksmith. Ooh, and an opposing sentry guard. So let's do this one first. We can now spend our money. We can either spend 1 treasure to tick up our luck, or we can spend 2 treasure to up one of our skills. Ooh, and I think I'm going to take the luck. I feel like luck is always good in a game. So let's do that. We don't get any renown for this, but that's fine. I like the idea that we're like buffing up our equipment before we leave to head out into the far reaches, right? That makes sense. And finally, we come across an opposing sentry before we leave this little bit of civilization. There's someone warning us. Are you sure you want to go out there? And we either speak the password or charm them. Come on, we are so not charming. We're definitely going to try and speak the password. 5 total, 4 of which we can roll. All right, let's tick this down. Boom. And we rolled a 11. Yeah, we know that password. Let's take our reward here. They both go up 1. And because it was a book, our renown goes up by 1. All right, okay. And I think before we head out, we're definitely going to take the refresh action because I have so many things that are low. So let's tick you up 1. Let's tick you up 1. And let's tick stupid compassion. All right. Who needs compassion? But before we head out, let me just lay out really quick sort of the idea of what happened to us in the Borderlands, right? We went over our bridge and managed to elude a warrior, tiptoed past a beast and cleared a tunnel, had our first night adventure with the shambling terror, freed a fox, got a blessing from a fairy circle, found some strange mountain gates, oh my goodness, I'm out of room, helped the lost and lonely wanderer, barely, thanks to our friend Sanjay, and finally visited the blacksmith and said the magic password to let us out into the far reaches. All right. And so I really like the idea of having this story behind you as you go. It's kind of a cool idea, the way you can leave these little cards out. The only cards I'm going to keep for now in my little tableau are the ones that we ended up doing. This one, remember, the warrior, we ended up running from him, so we don't get this linked adventure. These are the only 2 right now that we might revisit. That little trap fox we help, and the blessing we got from the fairy circle. I'm not sure what that blessing is, but it might come up. So let's leave them. Actually, let's put them down here so that I don't forget them, shall we? Those 2 adventures are going to stick with us as we move into the far reaches. Okay. I didn't do my night adventure. I refreshed, right? Is that right? Yep, I did. Okay, so now we're going to pick 2 again. 1, 2. And let's see what happens now. Ooh, okay. We find Sylvan Forest Guardian D. Nope, we don't have a D. We can either tender a sacred offering using our compassion, ha ha ha, or summon a magical flame. Okay, let's burn the tree down. That sounds good to me. And we encounter a shadowy rogue. We can pick the pickpocket's pocket or induce a sense of guilt. Now, on these, if you decide to flee them, you have to exhaust 2 skills to do it. So these are a little harder to get through, and there's no strength. There's no strength, which is kind of a bummer for us because we're team attack. What do we have that can help us? So we'd have to roll a 10, and that's pretty doable. We have to roll a 5, and that's totally doable. Now, our compassion, though, you know, I don't feel like burning down the tree. We have lots of luck, right? Let's try it. Let's try and tender a sacred offering using our 4 compassion dice. So we'll tick that down. We'll roll our 4. We're looking for a 10. Come on, Jari. Sanjay must have taught you something. He did. Fabulous. Okay, pulled our 11, which means we tick them both up 1. Boom, boom. We get ourselves a coinage, which is great. And because we used compassion, nobody cares. We get no renowned. Right, that's why I didn't want to use compassion. Darn it. Okay. I don't know what kind of morals this game is teaching me, but we won't think about that. So we've learned our lesson. No, we're not going to induce a sense of guilt. We're going to instead pickpocket the pickpocket. 5 dice available. We'll tick that down. Give it a roll, and again, we're looking for a 10. Yep. This pickpocket doesn't stand a chance against us. So they each tick 1. Boom, boom. We're going to pick up another coin. Boom. And our renown goes up by a measly 1. I guess you don't get famous for picking people's pockets. Nighttime. Ooh. Do we go for it? If we get an adventure, we're really high still. And we need that renown, right? That's how you win this game. Oh, why not? Let's take a nighttime adventure instead of refreshing. Yee! Let's find out what happens. We charge into battle. Yes, with the Skeletal Sentry. Awesome. Just what we want to see because, let's face it, we are a beast when it comes to fighting. So we're rolling all 6. Nope, just kidding. We're at a 5. We're rolling 5 dice. We'll tick that down 1. And let's see if we could take on this Skeletal Sentry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Easy peasy, we roll our 7. We get to increase any dice total. Let's go for compassion, I guess, because it's the lowest. We get some treasure, and we get to refresh something. Let's refresh our fight and 2 more renown. 1, 2. All right, that was a good one for us. Great. Now, daytime. Here we go. Ooh, a majestic fairy queen. Recite the sacred oath. Wait a minute. We did this already. This is where our enchanted fairy circle comes in. So, because we got the blessing, the majestic queen recognizes this, and we automatically get this reward. Wow, that's great. So we'll tick up our compassion. We'll pick up some coin. Again, we get no renown for this, but that's all right. The fairy queen, she comes through for us with the enchanted fairy circle. And we also get, oh my gosh, what are the odds? The standing stones. I guess because we helped the fox, for some reason, we are able to perform a mystic ritual of 11. Oh, wow. So we just get that. So let's refresh this one. We'll get some coins, and we have so much coin. Our renown goes up by 1. What a great day. Oh my goodness. All of our adventures magically resolved. You know what that means. Nighttime adventure. Let's get some more renown. Ooh, waterfall at Rainbow's End. Settle beside the cool waters. Holy mackerel. Okay, we don't have to do anything except get treasure and refresh 2 things. 1, no, what am I doing? Not compassion. No. 1, 2. Wow. Okay, we are totally powered up now, maxed out, ready to face the next day. How many more days have we got? 3 more days. All right, gotta get that renown. We find a hospitable hermit. Ooh, here we go. We can trade for stories and get some luck. We haven't used luck yet. Or we can practice meditation and get a wild, but everything's maxed out. So we'll just take a luck. We'll take a luck tick for this. Thank you, Hermit. We're going to rest for a moment. But we do spring a magical arrow trap. We can either snatch the arrow from the air or dispel the magic event. Well, that's a 9 versus an 11. So let's dispel it. So we have 6 dice we can roll. Let's exhaust it. Boom, and roll them. We need to find a 9 in here. Ooh, oh, that's a 6. Okay, wow, that was close. we barely managed to dispel magic at the last minute. That was close. All right, so we'll tick that up. Boop, and our renown goes up 1. Boop, and do we want a nighttime adventure? I think we do. We're so powerful right now. It'd be crazy not to. So let's pick this one. Oh no, it's a burrowing deep worm. We have to scramble to safety with a 10. We can't fight it. Okay, that's fine. We have 6, we roll 6. And we're looking for a 10. We got it. We got it right there. Wow. Whew. We just managed to get out of harm's way. We get to increase a tick. Well, there's only one we can increase. We get 2 coin. And we're still at max value. Wow, we're rolling really well. Our renown only goes up by 1 though. So we're now a renown of 20. Okay, second to last day. We need to fight some stuff. Here we go. Ooh, linked, we didn't do that. We really want to fight things, right? To get our renown going. So let's do this. Let's fight the fiery dragon and defend the land with bravery. We're at an 11, so we're 6 and 6 still. Oh, we gotta roll really well. We can do it though. I believe in us. I believe in Jari. This is what she was made for. This is it. She's gone all this way. She's upped every ability to stop a dragon. Come on. 10. Oh no, it's not enough. It's not enough. Quickly, quickly. She turns to her friends. Ooh, increase 1 attempt. Ooh, ooh. Yoko, can he help us? Let me check, hold on. All right, so Yoko, he can't help us. His ability is increase 1 attempt by a single dice to a max of 6. We're already rolling 6. So he doesn't help us re-roll, but remember, we do have some luck still in our pocket. And when we use our luck, we have to re-roll all of the dice. So we don't get to keep the high ones, all right? But the dragon's gonna take a loop and come back a second time, giving Jari another chance to hit it. Come on, Jari. Again with a miss. Oh. Okay, let's spend another luck. Oh no, come on, Jari, we've come so far. A 10, we did it. Oh, we did it, finally. Finally, that dragon was, no, we need an 11. No, we need an 11, not a 10. Okay, this is it. This is so, oh no, Jari. Jari, please. Please. An 11, we did it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All the luck we've saved up from the entire adventure comes down to this. We defend the land with bravery. We're going to refresh it. We only get 1 coin for killing a dragon. Oh my goodness. Okay. Fine. Be that way. This little sorcerer, oh wait, we killed the dragon, so we go up by 2, boom, boom. The sorcerer, again, we want to knock him down. I feel terrible, we're beating up on old men now. But we need this because we need that darn renown, so we're gonna punch the old man. We only need a 5, so that, you know, that clearly happens. The old man is down. We get to increase the dice, but we don't get to increase his refresh, so we don't get any advantage except 2 more renown. And we are on our last night, which is a Will of the Wisps. Oh, resist the intoxicating light with our compassion. Luckily, we have built up our compassion, so we roll 6. We must make a 9. That was not a 9. Do we have anyone to help us with compassion? We don't. Do I use my luck on this? I don't think I do. Okay, so what happens if we fail? Surprised we've made it that long. Let's find out. So we don't get the reward, which is sad, and we lose a point of resolve. Now, this is our sort of our life, right? And I don't think there's any way to increase this. So I think you're only left with 4. I don't think there's any rewards that get you extra life. I'm not sure though, but that's okay because, like I said, we're sort of finishing our adventure, so losing a little life isn't so bad. But we are taken in by the will of the wisps. Okay, this is it, our last day. We finish our adventure. Oh, a wandering theater troupe. We'll take that. Enjoy a performance. Yeah. Get a luck back. Great. And a territorial griffin. We never did the G, so we will have to draw our sword and battle. Oh. All right. We don't want to end with fleeing, right? Let's do it. Come on. We have 5 dice. Take it down 1. This is what we were made for. The big boss fights at the end. But we need another 11. And we finish with a perfect 12. Our renown goes up to 1, 2. So with the game ended, we now check our renown to see how well we did. Because we finished the game with 2 of our companions still intact, they made it through, each of them gives us 2 renown points. 1, 2, 1, 2. So we finished at an even 30 renown. And the game tells us the scale is 10 being a terrible journey and 40 being an epic legend. A 30 falls us right in the middle. We had an engaging story. Not glorious or legendary, but just engaging. So we kind of got like a C, I guess you would say. We didn't score as high as we could have. But I really love the idea of being able to approach things differently. I love having this little picture tableau when you're done so that you can kind of look back on all of your different adventures. It's not a super heavy game. It's not, you know, a total brain teaser. It is pretty much chucking dice and manipulating stats. But I think it is a very sweet, cute, fun little game. I would love to see it when the final artwork comes in. I think that would add a real level of pizzazz to this. Right now it's just little line drawings and just, you know, the little icons that I printed off of 2 minute, what was that? 2 minute tabletop dungeon, whatever it is, I'll link it below. And I think having that extra level of polish will help this game quite a bit because it is just a cute, charming card dice chucker adventure game. If you would like to try it, of course, click the link below, go give it a try, leave your feedback for the designers. This is slowly winding up. I think, I want to say like early October, I think, is when submissions have to be in. So we're rounding home on this. So if you see something you want to try, go out and do it now. Other than that, I hope you've enjoyed The Land Beyond, and I will see you all next time.